nationwide. I think a lot of this goes back to the fact that it's a lot less threatening, a lot less invasive. A lot of people so used to the mindset of the war on drugs and the fact of purchasing this substance that you can see, is quote unquote have been deemed bad and illegal, grinding it up, rolling it. People feel like they're actually doing an activity then. So a lot, especially the older people. The edible market is going to continue to flourish. And I think the number one consumer group for that is the 55 and older community, because many patients aren't so necessarily focused on getting high. They just want to get well and feel better. But the key for me, and as an educator here in Georgia and as the Georgia chapter director of Minorities for Medical Marijuana, I like to promote education. I don't care who's making money, where they're making it. Are the products clean? Are the products safe? Because I've learned firsthand many of the edibles that hit the legacy market and products that hit the legacy market in Georgia are the products that did not pass regulations in other states.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. They were not properly tested. States like California, Colorado, to where the edible markets are highly regulated. Many people who are operating in the legacy markets in those states know that places like Georgia, like Atlanta, many of these people don't know anything about third-party independent lab testing. They don't know about phytocannabinoid profiles. They don't know about heavy metals. They don't even think about certificates of analysis. They're more so focused on trying to get their hands on it.
Since you're so involved in the legislative side of things going on here in Georgia, provided that we don't get something on the federal level that decriminalizes or legalizes within the next year or so, what does it look like for Georgia for the coming year? Is there any new legislation that's in the works right now?
There have been several state decriminalization bills that have been proposed by some legislators here. I've actually spoken in the subcommittees for, I think, 3 of them in support of the decriminalization bills. They do not get a lot of support here. We have to remember that this is still technically in what we call the Bible Belt, so It's a lot different here. They're not as progressive here in the South. And our elected officials, many of them have been in power for exemplary periods of time. They've been in there for I've looked up one. He's been in office for almost 16 years, and he only ran opposed once. So nobody runs against them. Georgia will not be going adult use anytime soon. The Speaker of our House stated a couple of years ago when we passed HB 324, which is our Cultivation Act, he stated that, it appears that the whole country is going weed crazy. And if the whole country continues to go weed crazy, as many of them have done, I'm here to tell you now that Georgia will be last. There's a lot of stigmas, and there's still a lot of reefer madness rhetoric that you will hear here at the state capitol. People saying that crime is going to go up, addiction rates are going to go up, high school dropout rates are going to increase. Just so many different things that really aren't true. But things change. People change, decisions change. And when it comes to money and the opportunity to make money, that oftentimes does drive things forward. I think one of the things that's really helped the state of Georgia here has been the influx of industrial hemp and CBD products. Many jurisdictions, especially right around the beginning of the pandemic last year, they stopped prosecuting drug charges, especially cannabis charges. They didn't fully decriminalize it. They're just not prosecuting small possessions.
I have some hope in hearing that the U.S. Surgeon General said that even he believes that locking people up for simple possession of marijuana is no use to them or to society. And as I start to see these moves in the national rhetoric, I have some hope that the legislators at state levels will also take note. Because you're right, money comes into it, power comes into it. So even in the Bible Belt, even in the South down here, I have faith that there are enough folks that for one reason or another will support some sort of cannabis legalization on the national level. I'm really excited to meet you and to have you as a connection down here. I'm back and forth from Massachusetts to Georgia. From now on, I'm pretty much living in these 2 cities. So I definitely want to keep up with how things are coming along here. And and how the culture changes as well. So hopefully we can have you back on the show to discuss this again next year and see if we've made any moves.
That would be a pleasure. And just an update for everyone who may be listening to this, Georgia has approved for cultivation. Our 6 cultivation licenses were awarded last Saturday afternoon by our Georgia Access to Medical Cannabis Commission. So yes, there are 6 licenses that have been awarded to cultivate medical cannabis in the state of Georgia for the production of low THC oil. So guys, ladies, everyone, non-binary, plants are coming. There's a 10-day appeal period for anyone that wants to appeal that why they didn't win. But after that, those licenses will be in hand to the licensees. They have 1 year from the date they received that license to have products on the shelves. Most of those awardees who won the licenses already have their facilities up. They've already got their personnel, their genetics. They're just ready to hit go. So be on the lookout. So you will have dispensaries in Georgia. Each licensee will be able to operate up to 6 dispensaries. And our Medical Cannabis Commission has already made a motion to propose to legislation to allow for an additional 2 to 4 licenses to be awarded to help supplement the size of our state. And for anyone that's looking to follow up, again, my name is Stanley Atkins II. I am known as the Canamedic, the Georgia Chapter Director of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. I'm also the National Director of Hemp and Farming Technology. You can find me on all social media platforms at the Canamedic, and that is TheCannMedic. And I want to thank you, Brit, for the opportunity to connect with you today. It's always a pleasure to find like-minded people to collaborate with.
Thank you so much, Stanley. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks again to our awesome guests this week, CeCe and Stanley Atkins II. Make sure you head on over to differentleaf.com for all the issues of our award-winning magazine, and make sure to vote for us for Best Cannabis Podcast with the New England Cannabis Convention. Thanks as always to our wonderful producer, Andrea Maraskin, and thanks to Homebody for the music.